If you're trying to buy your first camera ever and you're lost between all the options out there and there's a lot of features and you don't know what you need from all these features, well, you came to the right place because in today's episode, I'm going to be the ultimate guide to buy a camera for beginners. Coming up. Hey guys, I'm Arjub and welcome back to another episode. I've struggled a lot and I've researched a lot before buying this camera, and still I did some mistakes after buying it. It was a great purchase, don't get me wrong, but I did some mistakes and I've gathered all my research and buying knowledge of a first camera and I wanted to transfer it all from my head to yours today. I'm gonna be as fast as possible because I don't want to waste your time, and we're gonna go through 4 different questions. What brand should you go with? Should you get a DSLR or a mirrorless camera? And what's even the difference between them? What lens should you start with? And what kind of features that you need in a camera? Let's start with what brand should you choose. And choosing a brand is a very tricky choice because as long as you choose a brand, you're gonna stick with it because you're gonna buy all their lenses and all their stuff and you're gonna be stick with that brand. However, if you choose the right brand from the get-go, then you're set. There's plenty of brands out there and they're all great, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna stick with the top 3 brands that you can stick with, and there's a lot of lenses options along the way. These brands are Sony, Canon, and Nikon. And for each brand, it has its own people. So if you're buying the camera to be a photographer only, your focus is only on photography itself, then I think Nikon will be the best choice for you. They're really great photography cameras and they have plenty of lens options. And the runner-up for this category is Canon, of course, because they also are really great with photography. Let's move to videography, and one of the best options out there is Sony, of course. Their full-frame mirrorless cameras and their budget mirrorless cameras are really great to start your filmmaking or your videography career. And the runner-up for this category, of course, it's Canon as well because they're also great with videos. But if you want to shoot both videos and photos, then Canon is the best option. They do such good photography and at the same time they do such good videography. That's why I chose Canon as my first camera and I want to continue with Canon. Next up we have DSLR versus mirrorless cameras. I know you've heard this a billion times across the internet and you don't even know what the DSLR is or a mirrorless camera is. Well, the DSLR is a digital single lens reflect. What does that mean? Is that there is an actual mirror inside of your camera that reflects what you see through the lens through the viewfinder. So what you see in a viewfinder of a DSLR is the actual scenery or things around you, but through the lens itself. And the mirrorless camera, which speaks for itself, that it doesn't have a mirror. That's why we see mirrorless cameras smaller in size, because they don't have that mirror and reflection inside of the camera itself. I know you'll be like, but what is the difference between both of them? Well, photographers love to use DSLRs in general. They love using the viewfinder with the mirror of the DSLR because a lot of times they're shooting outside, for example, and it's so bright and they can't see the screen itself. So they use the viewfinder to see exactly what they're shooting. They get used to the settings, so they see the settings in the viewfinder itself and they know how the picture will turn out. Other times they might be shooting in a dark place like a theater and they don't want that screen to be so visible and distracting. Videographers, on the other hand, they love the compact size of the mirrorless camera and it really comes in hand when they put it with the other gadgets so it doesn't take much space or it doesn't put so much weight. Even while shooting, a lot of videographers have a lot of stuff on the camera itself. Maybe a mic receiver, maybe a light, maybe a cage with other stuff on it. So having a small, compact, lightweight camera is always handy. So in conclusion, if you want to get the camera to shoot photos and you want to be a photographer, then get the DSLR. But if you want to get the camera to shoot videos and you want to be a videographer, then get the mirrorless camera. And if you want to get the camera to shoot both photos and videos, then get a DSLR. It's the best for both worlds. Next up we have what lens should you get, and this field where I got tricked. When I was buying my camera, there were 2 options on Amazon. One was a couple bucks more than the other and I chose the one that is less. But what I didn't know that there were 5 letters between both titles that made drastic change. Those 5 letters are IS, STM, which are image stabilization and a silent motor. And I can't explain to you how useful and important these 5 letters. I didn't know at the time what these 5 letters were, or I didn't even notice them. And I don't want you to make the same mistake. There's 2 ways of buying your first lens. You can get the lens that comes with the camera itself. Most of the times it's the kit lens, the 18 to 55, depending on what brand you chose. The kit lens will achieve most of the styles that you might want. So if you still don't know what type of photography or videography you want to focus on, then go with the kit lens. And there's the other way of buying a lens, which you can get the camera by itself, which is the body by itself, and you can get the lens separately. And of course, depending on the type of videography or photography that you want to achieve, there's plenty of options out there. There's 2 main factors in a lens that you should focus on, which is the millimeter and the f-stop. With the millimeter, for example, the smaller the number, the wider the lens is, and the bigger the number, the more zoomed in the lens is. So for example, if you want to shoot landscapes, you want the widest lens possible, so you're gonna go with the smaller number. And if you want to shoot portraits and humans, you want to choose a lens between the 24mm and the 80mm, because in this range where people look the most natural and close to real life. And if you want to shoot wildlife, you want to shoot that faraway bird or that faraway squirrel, then you need a zoom lens, a tele-lens. And that means you want to choose a lens with a bigger number for focal length. The bigger the number, the more zoomed in the lens is. And then we have the aperture. The smaller the number, the wider it opens. And the wider it opens, the shallower depth of field we get, which is the bokeh, which is the blurry background. So if you want to get a blurry background or bokeh, then get a smaller number of aperture. And last but not least are features in the cameras. There are a lot of features out there, but you have to know exactly what type of features you need. So for example, for a videographer, you need a mic jack. There are a lot of DSLRs and mirrorless cameras out there that they don't have a mic jack. If you're a videographer, don't get near them. Some other professional videographers, they even need a headphone jack so they can listen to what the mic is recording. And there's the articulated screen. It really comes in hand when you want to shoot videos of yourself, like YouTube videos or even vlog. Sports photographers or wildlife photographers, they need waterproof cameras. A lot of times when they're in the field shooting cars or soccer players or a squirrel or a bird flying, there would be rain or splashes of water of a near waterfall. So it's really crucial to have waterproofing. Most of videographers and photographers, they love the full frame sensor. It's really good in low light conditions, and it can even get a shallower depth of field. At the end of this video, I want you to go back and watch this video and mark every single thing that you want in a camera, and boom, you have all the features and all the things that you want in a camera. You figured out what type of camera, a mirrorless or a DSLR you want, what brand should you go with, what lens should you get, what features should you have, and finally, depending on your budget, you land on a camera. Well, that's been it for today's episode. I hope I helped you out a bit, making up your mind. If I did, give it a sub, and don't forget that life is all about love and dance. See ya!